Writing is pretty cool. It's like, it's the hardest thing ever, but, and it's like really frustrating and irritating and annoying sometimes, but at the end of the day, there's nothing else like it. Really. There's so many things. You know, you read all these craft books and, you know, these do not do things when it comes to writing, and then you pick up a book that's super popular and it does all the things you're not supposed to do. So it's like, what do you believe? What do you trust? I don't know. I don't think it matters. I think you should just write how you want to write and screw all the advice, you know, because it doesn't matter. Too many pages. I don't want to I don't want to make it seem like I can't follow directions. That's a bad first impression. Like, send me 50 pages. Okay, here's 75. I would say in 20 years I could probably come back to this and still edit it because I'm obsessed. It took me years, actual years, to realize that Lily's behavior after Tyler did what he did just made no sense at all. It made her seem like she was absolutely psychotic. I mean, do you think other people read their stuff and get this excited about it? That is a funny line, though, I must say. I mean, after days of sitting in this bed or on my couch, painstakingly going through every chapter, every paragraph, and in some cases down to every word. I would look at a word and be like, is this the right word I want? For days I've done this. And so now that I'm at the end, it's like the end of an era. Yeah, see, I can't. Self-harm, suicide, drug abuse. It has all of those. My story has all of those. Plot holes, or if there's flow problems, pacing problems, any WTF moments. I just need to know, because when you've been so closely tied with something like I have with this book, I can't see it anymore. I really want to write another story, but I have no ideas at all. But since that one came to me out of nowhere, maybe I'll get some other inspiration from nowhere. I don't want to get my hopes up because disappointment seems to follow me like a shadow, and I don't want to get so bummed. But I mean, this is like Dream Agent. This is like top. This is like dream big. You know, I wrote this thing in two or 3 days. I just kind of cranked it out. I don't know where it came from. I just kind of had this. I just started writing it. I mean, actually, I just started writing it. Like, I had the first line and I just said it was, well, I think my first line was like, it was a Tuesday. I remember because I had a dentist appointment. I just kind of started that way. And then it just sort of came to me. She's going to see this guy. And what's the guy going to be doing? Oh, he's buying a newspaper. And then I found this picture on Pinterest and I just described this guy's outfit. You know, I mean, it was just where the story came from. I have no idea. That was really cool about it, you know, that it wasn't like super duper planned, and it was something that I just sort of went for, you know, unlike my novel that I've been painstakingly dissecting for a decade. Anyways, I cannot tell you how many different resources will tell you not to front load your story with backstory, info dump. You're not supposed to do that. And yet, her chapter 1, at least the section that I'm, like the first couple pages, that's all that I've read. The first couple pages, the history of the company that she works at. Paragraphs and paragraphs of this backstory of the company, and I'm like, who cares? We don't need to know that. We don't need to know that maybe ever, let alone to front load the story with it. I mean, I've been writing this book and editing this book and obsessing over this book for so long now that I sometimes I can't remember when I wrote certain things. And I wrote this little baby paragraph and I read it last night. I think it was last night. And I was like, I had no memory of writing it. It was one that I had added in the past month. And I just had no memory of writing it at all. And I read it and I was like, who wrote that? Oh, and there was another one too. Oh, I have to read that one too. It was so good. I was like, oh my God, I wrote that. It's 2 sentences. It's 3 sentences. Okay, here we go. Once through his hair. It's not that spectacular, but I read that and I was like, who is she? Where did she come from? If you talk to a writer about their characters, it doesn't make sense unless you are a writer, and then you get it. But it's like to think about these people as their own being when it's just the person that you created. You think you're in control of everything they do, but you're not. And it's like really strange because they kind of, once they are invented and once they're on the page, they become their own thing. They have a life of their own and they do what they want and they say what they want. And I know that sounds insane. Like even as I say it right now, that sounds insane because you write their dialogue, you have them say what you want them to say. But at the same time, that's not always true. It's not always true. I can't explain it. I don't know. It's just, to try to get that sooner in the story is a big deal. That's not a simple, like, let me just take out this little scene and then that will push everything forward. It doesn't work that way. Because it's so interconnected. And as far as time, things have to happen by a certain date. Like you can't have her substitute in the middle of the summer. It just doesn't work that way. Writing is hard. Writing is really hard. Left for someone new to pick up and most likely throw away. See, those are the moments I read something like that and I just think, I can do this. Like, this is ready. This is ready. You know what I mean?